Welcome back. So, as part of touring through the C language, which is this section, I wanted to kind of show you a real example of the complicated stuff and well, visually impressive stuff that you can do with C language. Now, again, this is not an extreme example. It's, in my hope, an example that fits within one file and does something useful. Well, the utility you can question, um, but let me just go ahead and show you something. So this is a very big file, right? And let me kind of zoom out a little bit. Yes, it's a big file in the sense it is 43 lines of code, right? And you see there's a lot going on, but the familiar things are there is main. Now somehow, there is int instead of a void in front of or on the left of main. We'll talk about that and much later too. Then you see the familiar curly brace, the opening closing parenthesis here, which again, there's nothing within that, so no inputs to main. And opening curly brace essentially means, hey, there are going to be instructions as part of the recipe called main. Fair. And then at the end, we see the closing curly brace, which is end of the main recipe. And then at this point, we see something called return 0. So this return 0 essentially means that the main program is going to return the value 0 to the operating system. Again, it's a mouthful, it might be confusing, but just calling it out. All right, don't worry about this thing right now. And somehow, because we are kind of returning the value 0, we are saying, hey, main will return an int. So this is where I was suggesting that this is called return type. And the return type, okay, let me actually pull this. So we call this the return type. And earlier it was void. Void essentially means this function shall return nothing, right? So main function, as seen as a machine, took in nothing and returned nothing. The output was nothing. And the output to whom? The output at a program level to the operating system in this case was nothing. Fair. Again, if this is confusing, don't worry. All of this will make sense. You're just starting off with the C language. And I don't know how to talk about things without using technical words. So, just bear with me. Hopefully, this this notion of brackets is so far becoming familiar. Functions, some notion of it is becoming familiar with it. All right. So it's a very noisy file, and I wouldn't want to jump into the details, but let me kind of at a high level tell you what's going on. So we are essentially having variables which are containers, local storage, so to speak. And what local means, what storage means, we'll come to that also. But think of it as some sort of placeholders that are saving different values, right? And the syntax seems cryptic right now, and we'll decipher this as we go through the course. Then there is some notion of a for loop, and there is more data being manipulated here. That's my claim. And then at the end here, you see some sort of function looking thing, right? Again, some name, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Then, you see another something with an open parenthesis, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, right? So something is like a function, and the signature of a function being used, being kind of, the recipe being called to be executed, the hint towards that is you have some name here, then an open parenthesis, some garbage may exist uh, before you see the closing parenthesis, right? And at the end, you see there are too many, every line pretty much ends in a semicolon. And we then said that an expression in C ends in a semicolon, right? Okay. What is not ending in a semicolon is definitely having a curly brace, either an opening or a closing one. Okay. So too much to digest right now. but hopefully you'll be able to see something that looks like functions, right? My point here was we talked about keep your eyes and ears open for functions, pointers, and struct, and I'm going to show some of that here, right? So uh, at least we have the functions being very readily seen here. All right, perfect. Now turns out this program is not a one file program, it's two file program, right? And the hint of that is, well, here, right? So there is main.c, but there is also some .h file. So .h we said is a header. We'll talk more about header files in future, but we are saying, hey compiler GCC, as you process this file, there might be things that you don't know about. For example, you know, what is this image? Right. Image o underscore file. What is that? So what I've done then is, hey, be sure to look at bmp.h. And if you recall, earlier we had used angular brackets to include stdio.h, which meant, hey, look at the standard installation location of GCC, some standard paths. The double quotes here mean, hey, look for this bmp.h in the current directory, right? And the current directory happens to be this. So look for bmp.h there, and oh, okay, it's there. Okay. So what does bmp.h have? Oh, it has a familiar name, struct. And not only once, but it has many times over, right? So struct, 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 struct. And recall that I had mentioned a struct is essentially used to group data, functions, either just the data, just the functions, or a combination of both. That is what I had hinted at in the previous lecture. And somewhere my claim is that it is kind of grouping a lot of data together, right? And this data is essentially what the main.c manipulates or uses this information to manipulate. Okay, so what is main.c doing? We have so much noise here, so much code. We have, okay, bmp.h, but what is bmp.h? Or what is bmp at all? So what this program is going to do, which I should have told earlier, but I didn't. So bmp is a bit mapped uh, file. And okay, what is bitmapped file? It is a format of an image, right? So if we provide information in memory encoded in a certain way, encoded meaning first you have some numbers, next numbers, blah blah blah. So what ends up happening is that entire memory segment can be viewed as image related information, and the CPU can actually generate an image. Okay, let again a mouthful, but let me show you a demo and then it becomes clear. So I'm going to say, hey GCC, compile the main.c please. And even before that, I see that the main the a.out from previous execution is available here. So I right click it and okay, let me get myself out, delete it permanently. So it's gone. So a.out is gone. And now we'll come back here and say, hey GCC, compile main.c. GCC has compiled it and we have the a.out. We cannot click and open a.out because it's a program. So what we are instead going to do is launch it from the terminal. Launching essentially means execute it. So we say /a.out and very carefully notice that there will be another file generated here. And when I hit the return key, yes, we have a reds-square.bmp bit mapped image file. When I open this, oh, I see a square and I can zoom it in. So what the main.c program was doing for us essentially is creating a image file of a square that is 24 pixels by 24 pixels in size. That is what that main.c program was doing, right? And of course, the files are attached to this lecture description. But the interesting, my claim is you can see these three lines here, 7, 27, 28, 29, and you can essentially modify these numbers here, the zeros and the 255, and re-execute the program and relaunch it. And then when you go and, okay, I should have used an aggressive number. So let's say 255 here and make it 0. And let me just execute it again. Yes, compile and execute. And now it's a blue square, right? Okay, so a lot is going on again. Some image is generated, some file is generated. We talked about structs, we talked about functions. Let's now talk about pointers. Uh, so pointers, remember, I mentioned, is a number, right? And that number happens to represent a location in the memory, right? And that location in the memory, well, is referred to as the address. And pointer, which is a dreaded concept in C for I don't know why, but a lot of people, don't understand or are scared of the concept of pointers. But pointer is simply a number. That number is essentially an address of a memory location, a memory cell, and a pointer, essentially, a pointer variable is, you can think of it as a way to save that number, right? So for example, let's say this address here is 1000 and I'm somehow remembering 1000. So whatever variable or the local storage I use to remember 1000, that local storage is referred to as pointer. Okay, again, if this is a mouthful, confusing, don't worry. This will be, very straightforward and simple for you in few lectures from now. But the idea is a pointer is a number referred to as an address of a memory cell, so relates to memory. So when we created this, like when we executed this program, what this program was trying to do is, first off, create a file that represents the blue color right now, right? And this blue color of what? Of 24 cross 24 pixels on the screen. And then not only that, we also had to do something such that the operating system, such that this environment recognizes it to be a BMP file, bitmapped image file. So a bitmapped image is essentially information about how to paint each pixel on the screen. And each pixel is represented by three values: the red color, the blue color, and the green color. RGB essentially, right? So the numbers that I was modifying, 255, 0, this, that, are the color values for each pixel. And you can play around with it, try and read that source code and see if you can make sense out of it. But the whole point is, somewhere on the disk, a file needs to be created and the information needs to be saved there. And that is what is the red square .bmp file. But then we have to reach out to the disk, we have to reach out to the memory. And to do that, we need a pointer. We need access to some memory space where we will write the information, and that information corresponds at a very raw level to this BMP file. That is what this program is doing. And now let me introduce you to the concept of, not the concept, but what pointers look like. Any place you see a star, likely to be a pointer. And I'm saying likely because a star also represents multiplication. So if you see a star something on the left side of an assignment means equal to, most likely a pointer. And remember, most likely is a very important keyword here. Okay, we'll not go into the depth, like the details of the pointer thingy right now, just because it requires more time. What I wanted to reinforce is we looked at functions, we looked at struct, and we looked at pointers. In one program, I was able to show you those three, some hints of that. Let's see now what that program is doing. And here's what it does. So we are first kind of, oh, actually, before we look at this, let's go ahead and see what the BMP format is. So you can go ahead on Wikipedia and look for BMP file format. What you'll notice is this, right? And this, okay, let me get myself out of the way. Okay, I'm here. What this is representing here is how information needs to be laid out in the memory for a BMP file to be recognized by the operating system. For something to be called a BMP file, this is the information that needs to be in the on the disk in a like a sequential format. One byte after the other needs to kind of convey this information, right? And somewhere you see the color definition and the pixel related definition and information. So I'll encourage that you go ahead and read this or take a look at this. And whatever this main.c is doing is essentially in alignment with that. So the initial few lines are setting up the header of the file. The next few files are essentially not file. Next few lines here, it's a for loop. We are repeating something. And what we are repeating is we are encoding the information about the pixels 24 cross 24. Trust me on that for now. And at the end, what we are doing is we are saying, hey, let's call this recipe that helps us open or create a file on the disk. And that file should be called redsquare.bmp, which is same as what we have here. So on the disk, please create this red-square.bmp, right? And if the creation failed, then return error code and all of that. We'll see that later. But there is a function here which will create a file for us and give us the address to that location where that file is created at a high level. Now what we are saying is, okay, we now want to go inside that file wherever in the memory it is, and then load all of these variables or all of this content, all of these values, we want to put it there, line by byte by byte. And once that is there, okay, close the file. So these three functions here are essentially helping us create a file on the disk, write content to that file, and then close the file. So all the C program is doing is essentially creating information as required by the BMP file format, which is same as this. And then it's going ahead, we are hand coding the information on our own, right? And I invite you to kind of change numbers here and see what happens. And then we are essentially generating this file, right? And now let me call this, let's say blue instead of red. And if I go ahead, compile the program, and be sure to compile your program after every edit, and then execute the a.out, then we'll see blue square.bmp is generated, and that's this. And similarly, let me just call this green now. Let's say green to be, I don't know, 200 for whatever reason. Blue is 0, just so that the color green pops out. So gcc main.c again, and then a dot slash a dot out, and we'll have a green square, right? So yeah, then this is essentially roughly the tour of the C language, what all we can do with it. Well, what all, maybe not, a subset of what we can do with it. Hopefully things like these, being able to go to the disk directly, manipulate things on your own, gives you the sense of power and some abilities of wizardry and black magic. And this is just the start. Towards the end of the course, you'll be very comfortable also generating audio files from scratch, and the black magic just the skills just grow. Okay, so with this, hopefully this excites you, and again I invite you to go ahead and play around with these values. And with this, I'll see you in the next one.